Welcome to my channel. The tale that we are about to reveal today is one of the most jarring confessionals on the entire Sister Wives history. Viewers of the Brown family for years thought they knew the complex dynamics between Cody Brown, his 4 wives, and the expansive dream that he guaranteed them on Coyote Pass. What they didn't anticipate, however, was the opening of a secret account worth millions. A financial secret that might destroy the story that Cody and Robyn have so diligently created and maintained. This is not merely a matter of money, it's about power, manipulation, and the deception of people who trusted him most. What we've found is a secret account, allegedly worth as much as $10 million managed by Cody and Robyn themselves. And the consequences of that discovery could reverse everything we've ever believed about this family. To figure out how we arrived at this point, we have to go back first and look at the trend of financial privacy surrounding Cody and Robyn. Since the day Robyn joined the family, there had been gossip of special handling, of funds being diverted in her direction and that of her children at the expense of the first wives and their sacrificing. Christine, Janelle, and Meri regularly complained about scrambling for resources while Robyn's family appeared to be nicely provided for. For years, fans had their imagination running wild that something was brewing behind the scenes, but there was never solid evidence. Until now. Recent insider reports and leaked documents indicate that a business entity, a subtle financial operation under the name K&R Holdings, existed. This entity, sources close to the Browns reveal, served as the conduit through which funds from the show, endorsements, and even family investments were funneled. What is so explosive about this revelation is not merely the fact that the account did exist, but that its worth is reportedly inflated to more than $10 million, while Cody kept telling his wives and children that there was little money, that the family could not pay for houses, that there had to be sacrifices. The psychological burden of this news cannot be exaggerated. Janelle, the one who lived previously in an RV on Coyote Pass as a means of economizing and demonstrating her dedication to the dream, was made to feel that her financial difficulties were part of the family's future. Christine, who eventually quit Cody, listed years of feeling unsupported and being financially manipulated as major reasons for her departure. Meri, who had invested so much in the Las Vegas properties and then her own bed and breakfast, was frequently relegated to the sidelines and informed that her input just wasn't good enough. But meanwhile, in secret, a huge account was being kept, out of sight, only accessible to Cody and Robyn. How was this account kept under wraps for so long? The solution is in how Cody handled both the family funds and their relationship with TLC. For years, Sister Wives' money was swept into a communal family account, one the wives thought was being handled equally. But insiders claim that Robyn and Cody created K&R Holdings as an entity in itself, siphoning off money before it ever reached the communal family pot. TLC payments, royalties, and even profits from side ventures reportedly found their way into this secret stream. To the other wives, it seemed to be money evaporating. To Cody and Robyn, it was a chance to create a private kingdom. By hiding behind the protection of an LLC, they engineered a whole new world of finance, one in which they controlled every lever. The human toll of this secret is heartbreaking. Picture being informed that you can't afford to construct a house as you see another wife living in comfortable luxury within a huge mansion. Picture bringing up your children in financial insecurity, thinking there is nothing, only to discover years later that millions were being drained away. That is the betrayal Christine and Janelle specifically felt. They gave up their comfort, their security, and their trust in the family dream while Cody was quietly building an account with life-altering levels of money. It wasn't a matter of financial mismanagement. Emotional manipulation was at its root. Cody employed scarcity as a means, using it to control the wives by instructing them that they needed to pull their belts in tight, in order to have faith in his leadership, while behind the scenes he was building his own future with Robyn. Robyn's part in all of this cannot be overlooked. Though Cody might have managed the financial arrangements, Robyn was the one immediately bestowing the greatest benefits. Her internet shopping extravaganzas, her bling, her designer attire, and her capacity to live a lifestyle that was well and truly beyond what the other wives could even imagine, were all financed by this secret stash of cash. What makes it worse is that she would frequently play the role of the most faithful wife, the one in misery with Cody, while in actuality she was protected by the riches that resulted from this account. For Christine and Janelle, this wasn't favoritism. It was betrayal on a scale that would forever ruin any hope of reconciliation. The revelation of this account did not come easily. It was the culmination of years of whispers, careful excavation, and eventually, insiders' courage to speak up. Based on reports, records related to TLC's production payments and private transfers showed that enormous amounts were being directly deposited into KNR Holdings. The name of the LLC itself is significant. KNR, Cody and Robyn, never about the family. About them. Every deposit was another coffin nail in trust, another indication of how far Cody would carry his protection of his own interests at the expense of his wives and children. The most damning aspect of this discovery is how Cody manipulated the story in the public eye. Repeatedly, he testified on tape to financial struggles, to the impossibility of constructing on Coyote Pass due to the family's stringent budget. He painted himself as a beleaguered patriarch, struggling to keep a broken family intact. Fans saw Janelle struggle for her RV existence, Christine finally having enough and moving on, and Meri being shoved aside. It all fit into Cody's tale of a family in distress. But now, with the revelation of a secret $10 million account, the tale is turned utterly on its head. Cody wasn't struggling, he was stockpiling. The fiscal difficulty wasn't across the board, it was selective. And the vision of harmony on Coyote Pass was merely a well-devised chimera, used to keep the wives in line while he set himself and Robyn up for the future. The fallout from this revelation is only just beginning. Christine's departure, Janelle's growing independence, and Meri's distancing all take on a new light when viewed through the lens of this hidden account. Fans are now asking, what else has Cody hidden? How much did Robyn know? And perhaps most importantly, what happens next? With a fortune allegedly sitting in this account, will the other wives fight back legally? Will TLC continue to back a story that has now been revealed to be fraudulent? Or is this the start of the end for Cody and Robyn's seemingly carefully built empire? What we do know is that the truth always reveals itself, and in this instance, it has dropped like a bombshell at their feet. The $10 million secret fund is not about the cash. It's about the betrayal, manipulation, and the fall of a man who once positioned himself as the father of a reunited family. And as more information keeps coming out, the world will finally realize that Cody Brown is not a patriarch keeping his family together, but a man who destroyed it for the benefit of his own personal fortune. The disclosure of the secret $10 million account doesn't merely redefine how the wives perceive Cody, it redefined how the whole sister wives narrative has to be presented. For more than a decade, the family appeared to be struggling but intact, a plural family that had financial struggles like every other. The wives were depicted pinching pennies, budgeting, and at times living on the brink of implosion. Cody's character in that story was always the guy attempting to do too many things at once, pulled thin by too many expectations. But now, if you pull back the curtain and observe money going quietly into K&R Holdings, you can see the hardship wasn't going to be distributed evenly. It was engineered, it was designed, and it was employed as a tool to manipulate the very women who trusted him. Christine's story is the saddest and most powerful one in this regard. She lived for years as the center of the family, having children, cooking, holding traditions together, and being the glue that held everyone together. When she decided to leave, she listed that she felt unseen, unheard, and unloved. But what fans did not get at the time was just how deep the betrayal really was. She was informed that there was not enough money to finance her independence, that her want to construct a house or take care of her kids completely wasn't economically feasible. And yet, there were millions sitting in an account with the names Cody and Robyn on it. Christine's departure wasn't only emotional, it was a liberating act from a money prison she didn't even realize she was in. She may have left Coyote Pass, but what she actually left behind was a marriage founded on lies. Janelle's is just as sad but also redemptive. She was the wife who had more faith in the Coyote Pass dream than anybody else. She sold the house in Las Vegas, invested heavily, and went as far as to reside in an RV on the property in order to demonstrate her dedication. The fans recall her dedication, her acceptance of hardship in the name of the greater good. But picture the shock of discovering that while she was sleeping in a small RV, washing dishes with little water, and arguing with Cody over construction plans, he and Robyn were sitting on a secret fortune. To Janelle, RV life wasn't merely about conserving money. It was about being deceived into thinking every dollar mattered when her husband was stockpiling millions. It transforms her effort from a noble sacrifice to one of vicious exploitation. And then there's Meri. She's always been the oddity, the wife relegated, the one Cody freely declared he no longer loved. Her money was an issue when she purchased the bed and breakfast, Lizzie's Heritage Inn. Cody asked if it was a smart investment, if it would be a plus for the family. But with this revelation, Meri's experience becomes another chapter in the long saga of Cody's financial gaslighting. While Meri was forced to justify her use of her own money, Cody and Robyn were quietly using family resources to line their own pockets. Meri's marginalization was not just emotional, it was financial. Her contributions were taken, but her needs were dismissed. The secret account confirms what Meri had probably intuited all along. She was never equal to Cody's financial dreams. Everyone is now wondering, where did the $10 million originate? Some of it, naturally, is from the paychecks sent by TLC. During more than a decade on television, the Browns earned millions playing sister wives. But whereas the show depicted financial hardship, a good chunk of that money seems to have flowed into KN&R Holdings. And then there are side business revenues. My Sister Wife's Closet, the web-based jewelry enterprise Robyn initiated, perhaps seemed to be a failure to viewers, but sources indicate that it earned revenue that was quietly diverted. Sponsorships, appearances, and even minor licensing agreements contributed to the coffers. And then there's the most contentious claim, that Cody used family resources, including the Las Vegas properties and early investments, to build this nest egg. It's not so much where the money came from, it's about who was privy to it. Was Robyn privy to the full scope of the secret fortune? Most insiders think she was. Her spending, her lifestyle, and her commitment to stick with Cody during every crisis implies she knew financially she was covered in a way the other wives were not. Robyn's on-camera crying, her declarations of needing harmony, now appear as stunts to cover the truth that she was living with security while the other wives were living with insecurity. Fans have long suspected Robyn of being the preferred wife, and this secret account appears to be the clincher. But Cody's motives are just as telling. Why conceal the money? Why fake an air of scarcity? The reason, according to those closest to him, is control. By having the wives think money was scarce, Cody exercised power over their decisions. If Christine insisted on leaving, he could threaten to remind her that she didn't have the money to survive alone. If Janelle became too insistent on independence, he could protest there was no budget for her ideas. If Meri insisted on more, he could squash her with poverty excuses. The secret account wasn't merely a financial resource. It was a psychological weapon. It bound the wives to Cody, reliant on his approval and susceptible to his manipulation. Ironically, the tactic eventually boomeranged. Rather than holding the family together, Cody's secrecy drove them apart. Christine departed. Janelle drew back. Meri nearly cut all connections. And now that the secret account is out in the open, Cody and Robyn are not only dealing with the breakdown of their family, they're dealing with humiliation. Fans who used to argue whether Cody was merely misdirected now view him as calculating, selfish, and manipulative. The patriarch image is lost. What is left is a man revealed for what he really is. A man who gained his empire upon the shoulders of women who believed in him and left him behind. The consequences may reach far further than the family itself. TLC has put significant money into the Sister Wives franchise, but this news stains the very foundation on which the show stands. How can a show based on the concept of unity and joint struggle go on when it's now evident that those struggles were staged? Will TLC still stand behind Cody and Robyn, or will the network shift focus toward the wives who were betrayed? Christine, Janelle, and Meri gain more public sympathy than ever before, and their survivalist and self-sufficiency stories could be the future of the franchise. Cody and Robyn, however, might find themselves ostracized not only from their family, but from the very fans who once stood behind them. And yet, even with the incriminating evidence, Cody still spins his tale. Sources claim he still maintains that the secret account was to benefit the family, an insurance policy for the future. He argues the money wasn't stashed, it was insured. But for the wives who lived in austerity, for children who watched their mothers make do, those words are meaningless. The truth is out, and no spin can put back the reality that Cody and Robyn kept millions secret while requiring sacrifice from everyone else. The $10 million account isn't merely a money scandal, it's the ultimate betrayal. It's years of deceit, manipulation, and favoritism that tore the Brown family apart from the inside out. And now that it has come to light, the question is no longer did Cody treat Cody unfairly, it's how far does the deception go? Because if he was able to keep this hidden, what else has he been keeping hidden? The revelation of Cody and Robyn's secret $10 million account has sent shockwaves far outside the walls of their home. Within the broader Sister Wives universe, Insiders and fans alike have started piecing together bits of evidence from episodes spanning years, interviews, and public outings that are now more relevant than ever. Suddenly, scenes previously puzzling or mundane seem like glaring instances of misdirection. For example, followers recall Cody scolding Janelle for purchasing an RV to reside on Coyote Pass, claiming that they must buckle down economically. That scene was depicted as a disagreement over priorities, but in light of the secret account, it sounds like gaslighting. Janelle's aspiration was discredited as unrealistic when, in fact, Cody possessed a fortune that easily could have paid for her build. It's not an argument over lifestyle. It's a deliberate oppression of autonomy. Christine's relocation to Utah also becomes more meaningful. When it happened, Cody presented it as selfish, as if Christine was leaving the family's vision behind because she wasn't satisfied with it personally. He made her seem like she abandoned the dream they'd all contributed to. But Christine came out later and admitted she felt lonely, unloved, and unsupported. With the secret account revealed, it's apparent that Christine's instincts were correct the entire time. She wasn't being treated equally, not emotionally or financially. Leaving wasn't just about love. It was about escaping a system that made her reliant on a man who never planned on giving her equal ground. The revelation of those millions makes Christine's decision not only reasonable but also compulsory for her own survival and well-being. Now let's discuss how this news is landing with the fan base. Sister Wives has always had one of the most passionate and vocal audiences in reality TV. These are fans who dissect every episode, analyze body language, and connect dots that the show doesn't spell out. With the hidden account confirmed, fans feel vindicated. They've been saying for years that Cody was playing favorites, that Robyn wasn't as innocent as she pretended, and that the wives were being gaslit. This discovery is evidence that their gut was correct. Social media, comment pages, and fan sites are full of outrage, not only at Cody and Robyn, but at the system that permitted them to get away with this for so many years. TLC is in a delicate spot. The network has constructed an empire on the spectacle of the Brown family, but they might now be enduring a crisis of credibility. Fans are asking, did TLC realize the secret money? Did producers realize that Cody and Robyn were quietly amassing wealth while the other wives were left struggling on television? If they realized it and didn't do anything about it, then the show wasn't reality. It was staged deceit. If they didn't realize it, then how did they miss something so obvious? Either way, the integrity of the show is under question. A few of the fans are threatening to boycott if TLC does not fix the scandal in upcoming episodes. Meanwhile, legal action is becoming more than just rumors. Christine and Janelle have substantial reasons for complaining that their investments were misappropriated. Christine and Janelle invested money in Coyote Pass for the benefit of the family, while Cody was sending money into a secret account. If a court finds that their money was taken wrongfully, Cody and Robyn might be required to pay restitution. Meri may also claim, considering how her efforts were downplayed and dismissed as Cody accumulated wealth elsewhere. These lawsuits might take years, but they might also reveal even more of Cody's finances. The threat of audits, subpoenas, and depositions should strike fear into Cody and Robyn, because once opened, all the secrets will be pulled out into the light. The kids are breaking too. Christine's children, in particular, are said to be seething. They spent their childhoods watching their mother fight, assuming that she had no choice but to remain small and make sacrifices. Now they realize it wasn't because she lacked funds, it was because she was manipulated. Janelle's children, of course, are outspoken as well. Garrison and Gabriel had already publicized falling outs with Cody over the rules and lack of emotional support. Discovering that their father had millions in the bank while their mother lived in an RV is bitter pill to swallow. For these children, Cody's hypocrisy is not only a family failure, it is betrayal of trust that can potentially never be fixed. Even Meri's child, Leon, who has already distanced themselves from Cody, now has further reason to keep their father at arm's length. It's also worth noting how Cody himself has responded. Rather than admitting wrongdoing, sources say he's doubling down on his narrative. He says the secret account wasn't a secret, that it was an estate planning vehicle, a means of shielding the family fortune from taxes and lawsuits. But this explanation doesn't pass muster. If it was estate planning, then why weren't Christine, Janelle, and Meri included? Why only in his and Robyn's names? Why did the wives need to plead for resources when he sat on millions? The gaps in his narrative are glaring, and no spin can alter the realities. For Robyn, the consequences are also ruinous. Her reputation as the teary, aggrieved wife has crumbled. Every time she wept about not wanting to be favored, every time she said she didn't desire favoritism, it now appears like an act. Viewers are watching reruns of the early seasons and perceiving her differently, no longer as a victim, but as an actress in a prolonged scam. She might have thought she was investing in a future, but instead, she has become the most hated character on Sister Wives, and as opposed to Cody, who has been criticized throughout his entire run on the show, this is uncharted ground for Robyn. Her beautifully constructed mask has crumbled, and the public can see her now. For Christine, Janelle, and Meri, though, this is a new beginning. They are no longer the girls left behind. They are the survivors, the tellers of truth, the ones who can finally tell their stories with impunity. Christine has already gone on to thrive. Janelle is proving to be strong and resilient. Meri is also forging her own way. Together, they are empowerment, while Cody and Robyn are deception. In the public's eye, roles are now reversed. The wives are now the heroines of this tale, and Cody and Robyn are the villains. And yet, as incriminating as the secret account is, rumors abound that there's even more where that came from. Some insiders opine that $10 million is merely the tip of the iceberg, that Cody and Robyn might have several accounts, possibly even secret assets abroad in the United States. If true, then this saga is far from over. The $10 million could be the tip of an enormous financial empire founded on deceit, waiting to be spread out thread by thread. As the tempest around Cody and Robyn's secret account gathers momentum, the atmosphere of inevitability sets in. The other wives are not yet on record with lawsuits, but backroom discussion has already started. Christine, Janelle, and Meri now possess something they never had before, evidence that their fears were legitimate, that the words of Cody did not equate to his actions, and that Robyn was not merely a passive victim but an accomplice who played her part in the game. The trust is lost, the respect is lost, and what remains is the battle for fairness and truth. Sources state Christine has already spoken to lawyers, discreetly weighing her possibilities. Janelle also is said to be researching old bank statements, dead set on trying to figure out where she lost her money and how much she funneled into the account. Even Meri, years portrayed as passive, is seething, rethinking if she should bring about legal action of her own. If the three women act in concert, Cody and Robyn may be facing not one lawsuit, but three. That sort of concerted effort would cut them no slack, offer them no opportunity to hide behind estate planning or misunderstandings. But the legal damage is only one part of the picture. The emotional devastation is much more. Cody constructed his identity based on the patriarch who provided for his family, the man with the weight of responsibility for all. But this discovery reveals that his burden never was shared. It was accumulated. He wasn't supporting the family. He was sucking the life out of them. He wasn't the one providing for them. He was the one accumulating. And for the children who grew up bearing the brunt of that fallacy, the resentment is only becoming louder. The most insightful responses come from within the family circle itself. Gabriel and Garrison, already strained, are reported to view this as the final nail in the coffin of their relationship with Cody. Christine's daughters, who pleaded for their father's approval, are no longer pleading. They are finished. Leon, the only child of Meri, has already walked out, and this news just strengthens their determination. Each of the children tasked with perpetuating Cody's dynasty is choosing to distance themselves from him. The man who envisioned creating a dynasty is seeing it crumble in front of his very eyes. Robyn also is breaking under the burden of reality. She spends hours crying, fearing not only losing Cody's backing, but also the sympathy of the public. She used to be the victimized wife, but now she is the co-conspirator. Each purchase, every luxury, every money choice she made is coming under scrutiny for betrayal. And for a woman who constructed an identity around being accepted and loved, the tsunami of criticism is intolerable. But that's where things get really interesting. Rumors are already starting to spread that the $10 million account may not even be the entire tale. Financial investigators digging deeper into the Browns' history are whispering about the possibility of offshore accounts, shell corporations, and even hidden property deeds registered under other names. If those rumors are true, then what we've seen so far is just the tip of the iceberg. $10 million might not be the scandal. It might just be the appetizer before the main course. Picture for a minute what that would be like. If Cody and Robyn were concealing not only one account, but a network of them, the magnitude of the betrayal would be much larger than everyone envisioned. It would not only be about lying to the wives, it would be lying to the network, the audience, and maybe even the IRS. This isn't just soap opera drama, it could be a federal case. And here's the twist. Sources say there are documents, actual physical evidence that link Cody to accounts that extend way beyond KN&R Holdings. They're in the possession of someone close to the family, someone who has remained quiet until now but who is likely to speak up soon. If that occurs, all that Cody and Robyn have worked for will fall apart overnight. Their wealth, their reputation, their future, it could all be gone in a flash. So here's the question. Who has the papers, and when will they finally come out of the dark? The wives are waiting, the fans are waiting, and Cody and Robyn, they're freaking out, because they know the truth can only be kept hidden for so long. This is by no means the end of this story. If $10 million was only the tip of the iceberg, then what's coming next could be the destruction. That is, not just of Cody's marriage, not just of his family, but of the entire Brown empire. And when the next thing comes out, it won't just rock the family. It will rock everything.